Hello everyone, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I am so excited to talk about today's palette with you. So today we're going to go through a review, a dazzled or disappointed, on the Melt Cosmetics Millennial Pinx palette. If you've been keeping up at least with my videos for the last, I don't know, even the last just few weeks, even if you're not a regular on my channel, then you know and you've seen that I love all things pink. So the Valentine releases that have been coming out have just been fulfilling my pink, the pink lover inside me. So we've got a lot to talk about this palette today, especially if you have kind of been in the market for a pink palette, or if this has piqued your interest. We're going to talk about the details of the palette, you know, what my thoughts are. We're going to go through swatches. We're going to do a demo. There's a lot to go over. So without saying any more, then let's just go ahead and get right into this review. So I just gotta say, my hair is so frustrating today. Like, I woke up this morning, I washed my hair last night, I woke up this morning and I was like, yes, you know what, I feel like curling my hair today. And I did, and it looked so super cute. And then I walk outside and it's more humid than it has been in such a long time. And if you live in South Texas, you know what I'm talking about. Like, the humid here is like you could sometimes cut it with a knife. That's how thick it is. Anyways, I wore like a little, in fact, what you're gonna see in the demo, the little, not a beanie, but it's like a little, I don't even know. Let's just call it a beanie. To kind of cover my hair so it wouldn't get all humid hair. And yeah, well, I guess it didn't work because I'm just so frustrated with my hair. Anyways, not the best hair day, so let's move on from that. Let's go ahead and talk about the palette. Enough with my hair. That doesn't interest you, and I know, I'm sorry. So let's go ahead and start talking about the details of this palette. Let's go into the box first, and then I'll take you into the Sephora website. But this is the perfect shade of pink for me. When I have described in prior videos what my favorite shade of pink is, it's this. It's like slightly a step up from baby pink. It's not truly baby pink, but it's not like the next shade up. It's so, so pretty. And it's got this like raised geometrical design on it. I'll bring you in close to the palette itself, but it is absolutely lovely. The lettering is in a deeper shade of pink, and I just, oh my goodness, this spoke to me on so many levels. So the price of this palette is a little bit heftier, but I feel like it is, or not I feel, I pretty much know from purchasing the last few, that it's right around, it's nothing abnormal for the brand. This is right around what their price tag is for their palettes. It does contain 10 shades and is $58. So it says that it's an eyeshadow palette with a refreshing combination of pinks and modern grays, free of parabens, it's cruelty-free. Get opaque payoff in a single swipe. I feel like a lot of brands are now marketing their eyeshadow palettes as that, but it's a high claim. You know, that may be true for swatches, but a lot of times, you know, it remains to be seen on the eyes. We'll talk about that later. This palette has an ultra pigmented formula that achieves a pure saturation of color that shows true on all skin tones. That's another quite lofty claim, but anyways, a lot of times I feel like I can't speak to that because I question whether certain things, would this really look good on a deeper skin tone, you know what I mean? And so sometimes you'll find that if you're new to my channel, you'll find that I will ask you if you are a deeper skin tone to let me know in the comment section below if you have tried something, just for my knowledge and just to know, you know, what works on different skin tones. So that's what we've got going on there. I like the name of it. Quite frankly, okay, maybe I have been hiding under a rock, but I had never heard the term Millennial Pink until I saw that this palette was going to release a few weeks ago. And so, now granted, it's Pinx. The palette is Millennial Pinx with an X, but Millennial Pink, I had never really heard the term. And then I was watching Diana, what is her channel name? Whoa. I can't remember, but she's got a vlog channel and a beauty channel. I think her husband is Jose, and they've got the cutest little baby. I love watching her channel. And she mentioned something about a Millennial Pink shade, and I'm like, what is this about Millennial Pink that I have never heard before? Now apparently it is a thing. Okay, anyways, this is what the palette looks like. It matches the box. That makes me so happy because I'll toss the box. I like keeping the box when the palette differs from the box, and I like the box better, but anyways. So I'm going to bring you up close so that you can see what this looks like. It's got this raised type of geometric shape. It is very, very pretty, very unique, and I like unique. The lettering is a deeper shade of pink, stunning. This is so classy looking. It's so pretty, it's so girly. And on the back you've got different lettering. It says Millennial Pink, and it's in a different, like in different font. So pretty. Anyways, I did not tell you the volume of product. So this is made in the USA. It has a shelf life of 12 months. And for reference, I never care about this information when I see it on other people's channels, but I think there are people who actually care about this. So, and that's not a bad thing. I mean, it's good to know how much product you're getting. Net weight is 19.26 grams and 0.68 ounces. So that's what we've got going on there. So let's open this up. Now, this probably does fold all the way back. Mine is very stiff and I'm afraid to try it. I don't want to tear it. I don't want to break it. It's too pretty for that. So I literally have just been using it like this and not folding it all the way back. The inside has the mirror. It says Millennial Pinx on the top and it has Melt Cosmetics on the bottom right here. The shades are just very, for again, a pink lover like me, I opened it and I was like, this satisfies every craving I've had for a pink eyeshadow in the recent months. But let me bring you up close so that you can see what this looks like up close and personal, especially if you are a pink lover like myself. So you get, I'm horrible at counting mattes because I feel like sometimes I feel like one, or think one is a matte and then it's really not. But anyways, I do believe you get 5 mattes in this palette. So 5 mattes, it's half and half, which is kind of nice. And, you know, I'm not the matte type of girl. Like, I mean, I use them because they're good for combining. But what's funny is the shades in this palette that are my favorite are mattes. So, and we'll talk about that later. So let's go ahead and get you some swatches so that you can see what these look like. And from there, we will go into the demo portion of the review. For the first 4, we've got Rosé Brunch, Pink Leather, Flamingo Dream, and Mixed Emotions. I will just already tell you that Flamingo Dream is my favorite shade in this palette. These are one swipe swatches. Ooh, I did horrible at swatching that. Hold on, sorry. I feel like my little bones get in the way sometimes. But these are one swipe swatches just for pigmentation purposes, just so that you can see how they swatch. Let's do this. I need to get in the habit of doing this because quite frankly, every time I do this, it creeps me out and I'm pretty sure it creeps you out too. Just having one eye stare at you there. It's just easier to get you closer when I do it like that. Anyways, so those are the first 4. Let me go grab the next and I'll be right back. Next up, we have got Modern Love Ruby Spar, S-P-A-R. I'm sorry, I don't even know what that means. Oh, I feel so ignorant right now. Pink Noise and Moon Glow. This Moon Glow is a true metallic silver. I feel like I've got several types of that. I've got several silver shades, and silver isn't my favorite in an eyeshadow. I prefer, in jewelry, I prefer silver over gold. In makeup, I prefer gold over silver. But that's what those look like right there. Let me bring you down. Very, very pretty. They swatch very opaque. The lighter ones, there were a couple that maybe weren't as opaque, but I feel like there really is rich pigmentation for it being a pink palette, because pinks, obviously, they're a little lighter, they're a little softer. So yeah, that's, I mean, definitely good pigmentation if you can, well, I hope you can tell. The last 2 are mattes and they are gray shades. I will tell you that the deepest one, initially I thought it was a black. That's how deep of a gray it is, but it is a gray shade. So here you've got GF. What is, oh, girlfriend? Does that stand for girlfriend? Okay. And Euphoria. Y'all are going to have to school me on some of these acronyms and some of these terms because, like I said, obviously, sometimes I live under a rock. But anyways, this is what these look like. Again, these are just one swipe, and so they are quite pigmented for being darker, like darker grays. I feel like once you get into the super dark gray and even into the blacks, then it's really hard for it to not look patchy and gross. But yeah, very clean swipe right there. All right, guys, so I hope you found those swatches beneficial, even enjoyable. Who knows? Anyways, it's time to go into the demo portion of this video. So I do this in an effort to show you like real firsthand how they go on my skin tone, how they apply, if they're opaque, like how many layers I need, that kind of thing. So I know y'all have found the demos to be beneficial, and so I hope this is no different. So let's get into this portion of the video, and I will be right back with my final thoughts. It's time to start digging into this Millennial Pinx palette. So we're going to start off with the shade Flamingo Dream and a blending brush. This is my absolute favorite shade out of this palette, and quite frankly, probably one of my favorite shades overall from my entire eyeshadow collection. It is that pretty. It's the perfect tone of pink for the pink lover. Next, I'm going to go in with the shade Modern Love and another blending brush, and I'm going to place this on the outer portion of the crease, just kind of connecting to that Flamingo Dream shade. I do go in with a couple of layers just to kind of build it up. Really, it only needs one layer, but I typically like to go in with a couple. Now we're going to go in with the deepest shades, so GF and Euphoria. I am primarily going to go in with GF, just hardly dipping my brush in Euphoria because it is very, very deep and it could make this look go south real fast. So really just kind of stamping it on my lid, and this is going to take a little bit of time. I just really took my time to blend this out because I really wasn't looking for a super harsh smoky look. I was looking to smoke out the look, but not a true smoky look. I wanted a obviously deeper shade, but I wanted to lighten that gray up quite a bit. Next, I am going to go in with the shade Mixed Emotions and a shader brush. So as usual, I will go in with my brush first of all, and then I will go in with my finger after that, just to kind of layer it and bring out its full potential. If you're wondering why I'm talking to myself, I'm not. I'm carrying on a conversation with my husband. Next up, it's time to kind of diffuse that a little bit more, really just trying to blend those two shades together. I don't want there to just be like a harsh line in the middle, and for that reason, I'm going to go in with a little bit more of Mixed Emotions on my finger, just to kind of layer over that gray. Next, I'm going to go in with the shade Pink Noise, and this is really just going to go in my inner corner, not really doing much else with it, but it is very, very lovely. Now it's time for the lower lash line, and we're going to go in with the shade Modern Love. If you haven't noticed, well, now I'll point out to you that I typically use what I used in my transition as my lower lash line, just to tie it all together. All right, y'all. Well, this is the finished look. Super girly and feminine, really romantic, truly a pink lover's dream. Hope you enjoyed. Okay, you guys, it is time for final thoughts. Now, disclaimer, and I feel like I've said this a couple of times, again, just because I either love something or don't does not mean that you won't. Everybody's different, and everybody's tastes and preferences are very different, and I have found truly that I sometimes will still take the plunge and buy something that's not getting good reviews or that people aren't liking, and I have found that I love the product, and vice versa. I have absolutely loved or disliked a product that other people are very much loving. So it's just all personal preference, and sometimes I find that reviews can be I don't know, it's never an accurate way to make a decision on which product is right for you. Sometimes it really does take taking the plunge, buying it, and seeing for yourself. But that being said, this is what I have found of the palette. So let's start with packaging. Love. I think this is probably one of my favorite packagings of any eyeshadow palette at this point in my collection, which is saying a lot because eyeshadow palettes are what I enjoy buying the most. I love eyeshadow, and I've got plenty of them. I know. I'm probably going to get a comment saying, you need to do an eyeshadow collection video. I absolutely do. And I do have that on my list for the near future. But I love the packaging. It's beautiful. It's girly. It's feminine. It's modern. I don't know, so much about it that I could sit here and look at it and be happy. So the packaging is a winner. I mean, it's not cheap feeling. Now going to the inside of the palette, you do get 10 shades. Yes, 10 shades for $58. It is pricey, I do agree. Melt has pretty much always charged that for their palettes. I want to say, you know, all the palettes I've bought have been around that price range, and it's kind of one of those things where, oh, how bad do you want it? You know what I mean? I feel like you're kind of, I'm trying to think what I'm trying to say. Kind of like the Huda palettes, they're $65. They come with more than 10 shades though. These are large pans of products, however, so there's a lot of trade-offs, you know? Anyways, not trying to justify the price for my purposes, just trying to put it out there why, you know, there's $58. It's $58. So anyways, that being said, let's start with the mattes. That's what I usually start with. Oh my gosh, these are so good. Easy to use, easy to work with, easy to build, pigmented. I do want to take a step back though. When I know I'm going to do a video, I don't really watch videos and I don't really read reviews because I don't want to kind of be swayed, and then I'm like, oh yeah, and that happens to me. Like, I am easily swayed when it comes to opinions because then my mind focuses on that one thing. I will tell you though, I did read a couple of the reviews as I was in store buying. This was in my basket, and I was like, let me just look at the reviews. It had like 3.5 stars out of 2 reviews. It didn't look good. And I found a couple people saying that the quality for this one was the poorest yet from Melt Cosmetics, and that it was that the opacity wasn't there, they're hard to work with. That was that. Then, as soon as Raw Beauty Kristi posts a video, I typically watch it soon after because I love watching her videos. She's one of my favorites. And it was using this palette. She actually loved it, but she did struggle with one of the shades, and I'll share that with you. But she loved it because she loved the color story, and for the most part she liked how it worked. Anyways, I wanted to put that out there just to kind of let you know what people are saying about it, because, you know, I've heard both ways. So on that note, these mattes for me perform very, very well. This Flamingo Dream is everything. Literally, I could have gone in with one layer and then, you know, been done and been good to go. I went in with another because I wanted it to be even more rich than it was, but truly it was opaque enough to where one layer would have been good. It's a beautiful shade. It's so, so flattering. I can't get over it. This gray is the one that Kristi from Raw Beauty Kristi struggled with, because on one eye it ended up looking a little more bald and patchy. I did not experience that. However, I have experienced that from time to time with other palettes, and sometimes for me it's the primer, sometimes it is the eyeshadow. So who knows? I wanted to disclose that she was having trouble with it because I didn't, but that's, again, my personal, you know, experience in using this shade. I also, as you noticed in the demo, I took extra time to really buff it out because I was trying to diffuse it. I didn't want it to be as deep as it was. I wanted like a charcoal type color to really smoke out the pink, but I didn't want full on smoky, if you know what I mean. I don't know. Sometimes I say things that I'm like, I hope people understand what I'm trying to convey. Anyways, so that's that one. I love it, and I love the tone. I thought it's brilliant that they've put the grays with the pinks because it really does go so well together. I love it. Anyways, this deep one is very deep. So I mixed the two when I did the outer portion, and what I did was I dipped a couple of times into this gray and then one quick dip into this deeper shade because it is very, very deep. It's very opaque, and it could go south real, real fast. So I'm always careful with these types of shades, but no issues whatsoever. It does what I need it to do. So these mattes are beautiful, easy to work with, and if you are a pink lover like I am, these will speak to you on so many levels. Let's go into the metallics. I was actually quite surprised that they were as good as they were, because as soon as I saw the shades, these two in particular, I thought, I've seen those types of shades before. I've used them and they're usually not good. And I was very pleasantly surprised because they are more opaque than any other of that style shade that I have ever used. Typically, and I'm trying to think back to what palette I last saw that type of shade in. Was it a Too Faced palette? I can't remember, but typically those types of colors, when I see the formula and I see those types of shades, I know they're going to be very sparse and chunky and piecey and just kind of gross. The kinds that make your eyelid look like it has a bald spot, and you have to go in with something else underneath before you top it. And I don't need to do that with these. I can literally just go in and it looks nice. It looks smooth. Now, I'm not going to tell you it looks like metal on the eyes or anything. No, it's a very beautiful wash of color of what that color is. And that's what I think it's meant to be, but it's beautiful. Now, in the demo, you saw me first go in with the brush. I think they go on very, too many things going through my mind at once. I think they go on very nicely with a brush. I always like to intensify with my finger. That's nothing new, and you're probably tired of me saying that at this point. Your finger is the best way to apply those types of shades. Any kind of metallic, any type of like shimmer shade, satin shade, finger is the best because you get more opacity quicker, you use less product, it's less messy, it's less frustrating. Anyways, but I did find that with a brush, these go on just fine. No struggle whatsoever. I amp it up with my finger. So that's that. The silver, like I already said, I'm more of a gold type of girl than a silver. I tend to not use silvers as much, so I don't see myself using that as frequently. However, it's beautiful. It's very, very rich. I think ColourPop has a shade like that. It might be in one of the Frozen palettes, either the Elsa or Anna. Probably the Elsa. I can't remember. I think I'm right on that. And that one is also very, very lovely though. So if you are simply looking for a silver shade, go the ColourPop option. Don't spend so much because theirs is also quite stunning. But if you are into silvers and pinks, and this would be a win-win for you, then you're going to love this silver. All in all, I don't think there's any doubt about it. I think you've probably figured out that I am absolutely dazzled over the moon for this palette. Love it. I'm trying to think because I said this about another palette recently. Which one was it? I can't remember, where I said it's like my favorite palette to date this year, and I think I'm gonna replace it with this one. It's gonna drive me crazy. I don't remember what palette it was. Obviously wasn't that memorable. Anyways, okay, that aside, this was the Amrezy, I think. Ugh. Okay, I don't know. Between this and the Amrezy, the two are my favorite palettes so far this year. This one is stunning. If you love pink, this is right up your alley. If you don't like pink, but you're a fan of the brand, I don't think you should buy it just to buy it and have it to collect, because this really is meant for those who love pink, who love to for those girly feminine looks. Ladies, this is for you. So anyways, again, don't spend your money if it's something you're just looking to collect. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I love this palette, you guys. I can't say it enough. Alright, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. Before I let you go, you already know what we have left, and that is the verse of the day. In just an effort to encourage you, to motivate you, to just kind of spiritually lift you up. If you don't want to watch, you're more than welcome to click off right here. Thank you for stopping by. But in an effort to just brighten your day, I want to give you a verse from Romans 12:9, and it says, "Don't just pretend to love others, really love them. Hate what's wrong and hold tightly to what is good." All right, guys, thanks for stopping by, for chit-chatting with me about makeup. I love talking makeup with you guys. You know that to be true. I will see you in the very next video. Thank you for all your support. I mean it more than words can say. It comes from the heart. Okay, bye, guys.